Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Oh my god. Ah, hold on. All right. This is Eureka. Eureka! Eureka! Look at it. Look at its beauty. Look at it. I mean, it's kind of not almost. It's almost there. It's almost there. Now it's actually doing the instructions that I gave it, but it's also because it's my fault for not putting the right thing in the right place, in the right string, in the right. We'll go over the details. But my AI is currently parsing and looking online and basically doing the thing I was programming it to do. Now it's doing it a lot. Uh, this is the problem right here. Is when I do get to a point where I have to accept cookies or something weird, this pops up and there's an error. So I gotta figure out what I need to essentially do to automatically accept cookies or deny cookies or whatever cookies, right? Oh wait, no, I see it. It's going in circles. It's going through search. It's going through search. Ooh, okay. It's not so clear. All right, so let's do this today. Let's do this again. Uh, Current economic headlines. So the first thing it should do is perform an internet search to get a kind of overall query, a bird's eye view of what's available, links, snippets, details. Then it should go through an action, go into the websites. I can manually accept it, but it still doesn't function very good when I do it manually. And it doesn't save because it's always a new browser header. I have a list of headers over here. Oh, okay. To a resource provide list potential sources. It goes again to the web page. It goes to a different web page. It keeps going through these stupid accepts. That stops the further parsing of the page. Super annoying. It's this registration request. It's not a registration, rather it's like a check for cookies and accepting terms and conditions, that kind of registration. And then it goes back, okay. And then it goes back to the general search. Here are some sources for the current economic headlines. New York Times, Econ World, Reshaping Economy. The tool results provide a list of relevant web pages and current about, however, without manually checking these pages. Okay. So it can't extract. This is insane. This is insane. When I put it together, it's actually identifying that something's wrong. It is acting upon the website. It's getting the information back. Uh, and it's not getting information that it needs, essentially. So that means that it understands the process, it is actually working it through, but it's having issues trying to parse the web page, which means it's basically based on that thing. Ugh, double use of word. I feel like I'm so close to the freaking thing. It's giving me the websites. I can open them up manually. But the thing about me doing it manually is I use routers on my regular browser, so it doesn't necessarily need to do cookies. But when it opens up a driver, it's a completely blank browser, no cookies included, unless I can play around with those cookies. And then since there are no cookies included, it essentially just stops it from executing. Now, so then I've given it the exact necessary processes. The next step is to actually, where's my accept captcha? Accept, no. I gotta modify or optimize. Huh? Wait. Why did I change my tab? That's the wrong button. So many tabs. So many tabs, except here. Yeah. So I gotta make sure button contains except. Okay, so it is a 10-second process. So let's do like a 120. I'm gonna do 120. So the page is open for 120 seconds. And I can actually figure out what it's looking for. So I can get the cookie selectors. So it's searching. Oh no, okay, that's fine. It opens it up. It goes into tool analysis, fetch web page. Perfect. It's actually doing really well now. And then this happens. So I can expect this, grab a window of it. Where's that? Where's this button? Button, fighters accept finds, button type, accept all button. The class button contains accept, agree. Why isn't it still finding it? What's the accept all? Yeah, accept all. Span contains div result, CSS selector, allow all except it should catch it based on this contains. There's other cases too. One trust cookie bot, specific frameworks, display style, banner, button. Oh, wait, but that's really a span. What if I do span contains except all? Because that's a span. Yeah, it's a button, but maybe it's identifying it in a different, much more internal way. Create a TensorFlow Lite, registration process. If I accept it now, it still has like what, like a minute or so? Source tool, frame tree node for given frame not found, dev tool source. Maybe I need to give it more time and then I can just manually accept, but that's annoying. I want it to automatically parse the internet for me. I don't want to have to always accept the cookies. So let's see what happens now. Fetching web page again, query. Oh no, it's going into search internet. Why are you doing that? All right, it's doing a search. It's grabbing some details. It's fetching the page. New York Times. I didn't refresh the script yet. So it's still going to do the same thing until I refresh, stop this whole process, and then rerun it because the updated script part. But I'm trying to figure out if I can just accept it and see if that manual accepting will do it. Because all I needed to do is just to grab this text. This is all text, right? Wait, why is this not highlighting? Is this not text? What is that? What is this? It is a paragraph. Interesting. Paragraph. But why isn't it highlighting it like a paragraph? I guess because of the A class. The A is holding it? No. A is up here. Anchor. Paragraphs underneath. But it's for some reason not. Oh, no, yeah. I hate the way to make these websites. They make them so unintuitive, but they do it on purpose because they don't want AI to mess around with it. Okay, so it's not gonna do anything. Simply because it didn't automatically accept, and still the accept did not register back. But it's still calling back a weird registration C. Error Google APIs, GCM engine registration request, registration response depreciated endpoint. All right, what's this? Error originates from Chromium Project GCM Google Cloud Messaging Engine, specifically with the registration file line. This error reported across various platforms. Chromium-based components, including Google Chrome, Chromium, da da da. This error typically associated with depreciated GCM service, which has been replaced by Firebase Cloud. Okay. Okay, so if that's the case, oh, it's still going now. It's going again. Now it's going to CNBC. You are not allowing cookies. You don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it opened up. Oh no, it's hallucinating. Sometimes see, this is the problem too. Sometimes makes its own URLs, which is super annoying. Why would there be an ad in the 404? Anyway, um, it makes its own URL, the AI, and you got to stop it from doing that. So you got to give it in the prompt, do not hallucinate or make up or create uh manual URLs, only use URLs from the search engine results and things like this to basically grab that information. I'm still getting that error. Okay, so execute script. Okay, hide WebDriver property. Let me see if I can specify this as a WebDriver. Dot Chrome. There might be a way to overcome this. The Chrome internal log indicating the outdated Google Cloud messaging endpoint is being accessed, no longer supported. To suppress this log message, especially headless. Yeah, well, I'm not in the headless. Mm, I do. Maybe I should try a headless environment. But also, I want to try out if that span adjustment is going to do what I need it to. So I'm going to cut it, close it off, or just end it here. Now that I've updated with the span, let me also give it a few extra spans. We have accept all with a capital. We have accept, we have agree, we have, I wonder if I can generalize this. Does it have to be a button? Got it, I guess. Maybe I can use an asterisk or anything. If I can do that, then I can basically, oh, but then accept all. I'll have to check. It's probably a little bit too, yeah, if I just do regular accept here and the asterisk, it could grab anywhere the word exists as accept in the body, in the paragraph, in the headlines, wherever it is. But at least accept all is a specific set of strings that would normally be associated with that button. It's a long shot. Then the next step would be to try a headless format. Headless just means no window opening, which might beat the purpose, because the idea was that normally when you do a headless access to a web page, it knows and it identifies it as a bot or AI or something trying to parse the site outside of a regular browser, and then it just restricts the access completely. So that's why I was opening up the browser to emulate a user going to the page. There's a lot of pieces that are involved, but let me check again. Top economic news headlines. At least I got the main loop working. It does go to the page, the search first, and then it goes to a next page. Is the 120 gonna stick? And then hopefully forbid it. Why? Climate and economy. Is that forbidden for me on a regular basis? No. See, something it detects. It detects. It detects the bot even through this. It knows my reg. Oh, maybe I gotta give it some fake cookies or something. Just so it has something that pretends to actually exist without it being a completely blank browser. So what if I, oh, can I do it in private mode? If it's in private mode, will it let me access? Private mode normally doesn't have incognito mode. So let me see if I can do, I want to save this, brave.com. I can just search it. WebDriver dot Chrome private mode browse. Oh, browsing? Browse page load? It's an option. Selenium incognito. Cannot seem to find a decryption how to open the browser incognito mode. First, since Selenium by default starts up a browser with a clean brand new profile, you're actually already in private, referring to this. Okay, add argument. Chrome options. So, where's my options? Options add argument incognito. Let me change that back to 10 seconds because now it's getting a little bit too much. Oh, it's resetting. Searching again, search query, and then it continues, and then just call it. Let's just end it there. All right. Okay, so then no sandbox, disabled dev blink feature, automation controlled, user agent. I mean, this is actually where I need to randomize. So I need to do user agent random.choice user agents random.choice user agents. So this will at least change my agent. Enable automation, exclude switches, incognito. I probably have to just play with these. Yeah, it is technically headless. Non-headless to mimic real user. Yeah, I can turn that to false if I need to adjust the headless mode. All right, then I give it economic news stocks. So agent is parsing, grabbing the page, parsing the page. All the data that it gathered from the search, passes it to another agent to go into detail. Whoa. Ah, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Uh, it technically did, but hold on. I think I messed up the formatting. Wait up, hold on. I opened up 50th friggin' page. Where was that? Wait a minute. There should be a comma, chameleon. Add argument user agent. So this is the search. I think that's the problem. Then I go back to add argument. Oh, it just doesn't have the extra details, the actual user agent string. So this has to actually happen in order for it to identify the specific type of browser I'm using. I just put it in differently. I just brute forced the copy. Top economic news cycle. Parsing HTML. Oh, I don't like this one. This one pops up when there's something weird. The tool results provide link to various sources, however, without parsing these pages. And then what happened? Oh, what is this garbage? Use dot Google dot a bunch of crap. Wow, this is an actual link. Why is this garbage link? Okay, so it used Google Business to look online. URL, fetch web page, and then what happened? Invalid input form. Okay, so it had a thought, had the action, then it had the input, then it had some. Oh, it had more thoughts. See, as soon as it enters another set of thoughts, this AI just keeps wanting to think and write itself a note. That's probably what messed up the rest, because the only thing it needs to do is thought, action, input. That's it. And it decides to make another little personal note. Once the data is fetched from this web page, it can be analyzed to find the current state of the economy. Useless piece of junk? Why are you telling yourself this? That's the obvious thing. And then it messes up my parsing, and then it messes up my final result. I hate AI. It's great. It's absolutely perfectly amazing. Um, it's dumb. It's genuinely dumb though. All right, so let's try that again. I mean, now if I do it again, it probably won't reach that same issue because it'll do it randomly. Sometimes it has a thought, sometimes it doesn't have a thought. Sometimes it wants to think, sometimes it's like, well, I don't need to think here. It's so random, these AI models, that sometimes, okay, see, now it's doing it fine. Now it's going to the page. Loaded! It loaded that page couldn't do before. Registration. What do you mean? There's no cookie stuff. Just pick up the page. Pick up the page. Pick up the page. Just pick the page. Oh, it's gone. Please tell me you got the page. Okay, we're fetch. No, we're doing another search. It's gonna keep looping now between search and page. I need to do more. Market watch. Now we're going to market watch. Now it has. Oh, yes, I agree. Look at that. What's this inspect? It's a body. No, 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 no. Have 10 seconds. No, it's gone. Okay, well then I gotta add that. Yes, I agree. Where is that? Is that a button? I think it was a button. I hate it. I hate it. I can't generalize it yet. Yes, I agree. And capitals make also a particular sense. Okay, so what did you do? Where'd you stop? And it broke itself. Nice. The tool fetch returned an error suggesting there was a timeout loading the page. Action search internet again. And then a thought after a thought. So this is like two thoughts. It's double dipping on itself. So that might actually, yeah, that might be somehow me stacking messages on top of itself. So that could be my fault. I gotta check where I'm stacking this because it's literally doing the same thing twice. But this is the problem. Either the AI is gonna screw it up or something in my logic is gonna stack the same instructions twice and cause errors that way. Okay, let me reset. What if I go headless? Non-headless. This is fetch web page. Maybe fetching would be fine. Maybe. I'm not sure. Top economic news cycle. Okay, there's the details. Oh, it's searching internet again? Why are you searching internet again? You just searched. Why you do it twice? Okay, now you're fetching. That's fine. Whatever you need to do. See, now it's stuck again, but there's no accept. Response phone registration. DevTools listening on registration request. Okay, bye. And now I need to like literally save all this info into another parsing AI text file and then go through and search and figure out why it's not grabbing information. Because I was doing it before. I was opening up the page. So at some point it just does it multiple times. So thought, action, input, and then again it gives itself a stupid thought that breaks the chain of effects. Anyway. Oh, okay, so let me do that. Let me figure out, mm, what was this? Where did break? Where did break? Thought, this part here. Okay, so, I'll put some music on because I work better with jams. Too slow. Way too slow. That was the messiest creation of AI music I've ever done. Can I add hotkeys? You know, keyboard volume buttons. Anyway. All about choice. Hold on. There we go. So the WebDriver error here, this is the same thing, right? This is the registration request C292. Registration response error is a Chrome internal. Suppress this log message. Suppress the depreciated. 2 ways to make headless. I thought I already did. But maybe it's just a different way to do it. So let's do that. Give it some headless options and log level 3. Reset. Now it's headless. It's actually not opening a browser. Is that good? No error. The log 3 worked. Am I going to get results? Now I don't know what it's doing. Hold on. No, it's going to search the internet again. Error, timeout loading web page. That's not right though. Also, this is not the correct headless. I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna remove this. I actually want to see what the hell it's doing. And it broke itself. That's fine. That's fine. Final answer, current economic cycle status cannot be determined from the given tools to confirm whether U.S. economy is currently in a recession, expansion, or transition. Okay, great. Break, save, redo, try again. Searching internet twice. Sure. See, the decisions it makes is so, I don't know if it's looking for actual details. And then this. Okay, they're just listening. Did you figure it out? Fetch web page. No, it's doing another search. Never be enough coffee in my system. My blood is coffee. It did stuff. Cycle clock, economic. I can also give it tools for specific websites, but my idea is to give it the ability to discover its own sources, eventually adding those successful sources to a NoSQL database, and then it can manage its own cycle of information. This should be a perfect example. Look, so much text, grab all of it, but that doesn't say much. And the problem is, if it trips over itself at any point, the whole thing just stops. Everything that it's researched and put together, I have to make sure that each iteration is actually doing a decent process. Oh, is that? And then let me also Charles Schwab, fetching web page. There's Trumpy. Oh, that would be a perfect, just grabbing that detail right there. These tickers. But at 10 seconds, it's just gonna go away with nothing to show. But then again, I think I'm messing something up. I think I optimized my search, but I didn't optimize my fetch. Okay, so this is the fetch. Detect captcha. Search internet status success results. So if there are results, append each title, link, and snippet. That's where it organizes the details. It uses DuckDuckGo to actually make that specific search. It's parsing the HTML page. The HTML page comes from, well, this is where it's saving it to as a backup. Loading the driver. It doesn't detect captchas. That's fine. No, I haven't seen one at least. WebDriver 20 seconds. Alright, so query that it's looking for. Parses the query into an encoded for searching. Searching gets attached to the DuckDuckGo URL. URL gets parsed through the driver. Driver waits 30 seconds until EC presence of element located div results. The wait is transferred where? Oh, that's just the waiting loop. driver refresh. Ah, if captcha is detected, it refreshes? That's weird. Okay, Beautiful Soup comes in, takes the page source. The soup is soup. Find all div results, links, deep web result. And then results div gets parsed with each div going through. So now it's basically grabbing each one of those results on the typical searches. Yes, I am still in search internet. On the search internet process, it's setting each of those divs into its own loop. grabs the title. If not a title, if title A doesn't exist, A or the, okay, it still does find them well. The snippet finds the snippet. Text strip snippet information. And then it appends it to the results, and once it finds the results and it's done going through all the divs, appends all of the results into this, and then I send it back. So these are always the data parts of the web search, compacted into an array, sent back to the return. And I'm going to follow my web page, because I didn't really modify a web page because I was still working on the search. So now let's see. Same idea should basically work. There's a driver, none. We try our driver, we give it the options and service. Then this is a specific URL. There it is, get URL. Let me make sure that's working right. Where's my usage of the function? Okay, good. So URL, so the tool input has a URL. That's all it needs, is just to take in a URL. Then it takes it to the driver. Tool input URL. Okay, because I'm organizing it in an array. So that URL gets set inside of the driver. And then we do our typical wait to load the page until we find the result. Cookie selectors. Where is this being used? For selector and cookie selectors, try CSS select first element. Button click. So it does try click on a specific selector. XPath fallback. I might need to modify this. Agree, accept. It's just parsing through text that has this in it. Oh. Translate. Adjustments to the location. Contains. Agree, accept. That's a little bit more complex for the XPath, but I'll have to go into that too. Then it finds the button click. But that's specifically for the wait selector, cookie selectors. Okay, so back to driver. After we do that, potentially check for a CAPTCHA. And finally, grab the HTML, parse it. Remove unwanted elements. Script style, header, footer, nav. Right, we just want the body. So we don't want any scripts to process, we don't want any styles, no headers, no footers, no navigation, yada yada yada. And find all text true, text elements. This might be where I need to modify some stuff. Is now soup find all text true. Looks in the children of the page element to find elements that match the given criteria. Find all method takes a common set of arguments, CLI documentation, where text equals true. Potentially, I mean, I could technically print this for debugging, and then remember to take this out. But sometimes my debugging gets very much bloated. Okay, top economic cycle. You're listening. There's the page that would normally should be giving me some details. It's kind of going through the same pages, depending on the search results. I needed to do a fetch page. There it is. Oh, look at you. Oh! Ah, really? Oh, captchas. I hate captchas. Yeah, that's a big one there. It's accessing information without these captchas getting in the way. That's a big piece. Okay, we're doing the same loop again. Searching, searching. And then it just double stacks on itself until it decides to add an afterthought to itself. Or 3 thoughts. 1 thought, 2 thoughts. And the final answer, though, it basically breaks the format. Okay. It does gather news values. It does fetch, and sometimes it does this. Yeah, this is what I wanted to stop. Response comes in a 1 cycle iteration, but when it tries to do 2 actions in 1 cycle, it breaks my script. Because it should take a single step at a time, and sometimes it decides to do multiple. This is correctly made, and that's why it functioned perfectly fine. The search is optimized. I don't have one thing. I'm not keeping track of one thing here. Hold on. Let me grab the page and save it so I can figure out what the page is loading specifically. Fetch. Probably organize this. Let me see. I'm gonna make a new folder. Pages. Pages. And then I'm gonna put date now. As a string. I should do that up here too. Then put page search. So that should at least save some data. So I can go back into the pages, see what it sees, because if it's not seeing what I should be hoping it's seeing. But if it is loading the page and it's not doing anything with it, oh gosh, hold on. code. Wait, why are you doing that? Did I do something dumb? Yes, I did do something dumb. I just put in that. Okay. I put in the wrong type of input. Okay, yeah, it's not doing so good. What if I just strip? I think the space is messing it up. Valid argument. Error number 22, start date now. So it is converting it. But maybe it's not so good. Maybe that strip. Hold on. Title.text, that's strip. Title A is just, yeah, what is the regular string? Snippet div. Main content T. T.strip. It should just be straightforward. Dot strip. Should. You can remove the spaces. Maybe it's that dot too, though. It's the decimal that's getting in the way, I think. Oh. The formatting has to be perfect. Oh, let's see. Okay, no attribute. Fine. Date now. Oh, wait, it has to be on the outside. Only strings. That's a date. Strip on the outside. There we go. Okay. No, it's still getting in there. Valid argument, though. What if I remove this? And then the other one. It should still do it. Do I really want to save every single one of them? Probably not. I'll just do it this way. Oh, I lost it. Open. I don't need this. So now pages should be, there we go. We got the search set. And then now I can check. Once it saves it also. Come on, finish it up. Finish it up. Kick it forward. Save it. Save it. Wait, did it not save the page? It's only saving the search. Why? That is true though. If it encountered an error, okay, there's another one. That means it didn't actually load the page, did it? But it should. It should have some page happening. Okay, close this off. Anyway, there's some more. I gotta do a lot more of this. It's gonna be basically the same stuff. I've explained the whole set of code, so check it from the start, see how it's organized. I'm basically using Python. Hold on. Basically using Python to manage an AI. The AI is an Ollama server with a couple of models in there. Currently, I'm only using Mistral. I'm activating it way down yonder. Mistral latest. And using Mistral, I'm using Python functions, basically giving it the ability to communicate with my code to search the web. So building my own tool set with Ollama and Python. Now, the issue is I'm in a loop. I'm in a loop because pages want me to go through some accepting of credentials or captchas and stuff that prevents my AI from downloading the page. So I got to figure out a way around that. But the previous issue I had was that my actual logic was a little bit messed up. But I did make an earlier video before explaining that issue. I do have also a video on how to install Ollama. So you can have an actual AI on your computer without having to pay anything. Like if you have a graphics card. Even if you don't, well, you can still do it. Here's the idea. You probably want to find something like a 1B model. It's the least amount of graphical memory necessary. It's very light as far as a AI model. It serves a basic set of functionality. It doesn't have a large data set of memory, hence the size is small. But you're still able to essentially hook it up to the internet. And then who needs data on the model when you get a tool that will parse the internet for you for up-to-date information? So that's the essential process I'm going for here. Getting there, overcoming some implications, always gonna get pushed down by other implications. And the current issue is now I have to figure out how to get around captchas and cookies on a fresh browser. And also figure out why it keeps tripping on itself. Some points it has multiple thoughts. And I gotta figure out why I'm not downloading the page, even though it opens up in the browser. At this point, if you watch further, I'm gonna end the stream now. If you watch further, I'm basically gonna be figuring out and fighting this loop. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe for more. Check out my Patreon if you want any help with any mathematics, any Python statistical analysis, market analysis, AI stuff. Um, or just want to basically join my Discord and have a direct communication with me. You can find my the Patreon in the description below. Also my X, that's where I basically broadcast new tech stuff, information, market stuff. I do a lot of stuff, man. I play games, I watch the market, and I program AI. And I teach mathematics and science and programming and everything, essentially, that I know. So, if any of that interests you, follow up and ask questions. Always. Always ask questions. I'm normally like really focused in, as you see, like I'm like heavy in the coding process, but I do take a look and see if there's anyone in chat. And if there's a conversation happening, I'll put up the chat on screen so we can basically communicate and have it recorded as well. So ask questions, even if it's math or programming, Python, AIs, whatever. I'll always be happy to communicate and basically have a conversation about the subject. The only time I don't communicate, to be honest, is when I'm playing games. I kind of get real focused in there, so kind of hard to make some headshots with a chat running wild. So, but feel free to message anyway. But anyway, thanks for joining. Appreciate you.